back to my YouTube channel. For those of you who are returning subscribers, welcome back. And for those of you who are new, welcome, join the family. And yeah, before we get into the video, I just want to apologize to you guys and address the elephant in the room. I know I've been gone for a very long time. I think it's been a year. Yes, no, maybe, I don't know, but around there, it's been a very long time. And I don't want you guys to think I abandoned you guys, but a lot happened, a lot of changes, a lot of life changes happened. So then I just had to, just immerse myself in those changes. Good changes, not bad, good, we thank God. And I just had to settle in and everything. And I just told myself, once I'm afloat, I'll then start dipping my toes back into YouTube so that I don't drown myself, right? And then now I'm not going to commit to say every week or whatever. Whenever I get a chance to do it, I'll just get back into the groove slowly. Yeah, that's it. Nothing to it, no big story, nothing really, just life happened and I was very, very busy. I'm still very busy, but I'm just gonna try to squeeze everything in. So today's video, we're gonna be talking about what is a credit score. I came to understand that a lot of people actually don't know what a credit score is, right? So what is a credit score, right? A credit score is basically the amount, it's like an amount, a score, which the lender looks at to determine what type of a borrower you are. It's a sum of calculations, different percentages, looking at different factors, but basically it sums up and gives them an idea of the type of borrower you are, your patterns, how likely are you to pay back, do you pay back on time based on the agreed due date of your repayment, how much credit have you used in the past, and just a lot of factors that come into play into them determining what your credit score will be. So that's what a credit score is really. They just study a lot of things, whatever you do, everything. We'll go into detail as to what those things are, but it's just like a sum of all those things which give them one score, and then they use that to determine if they want to lend to you or not. And if your credit score is bad and they still want to lend to you, they are taking a risk because you have a bad score, meaning your repayment patterns are very poor and all those things. So then it's a risk on their side. That's why they will then end up charging you high interest rates and everything, because they try to get as much back from you before you declare bankruptcy. Because with a bad credit score, you're most likely to not be able to pay back, to not be able to afford it, to declare bankruptcy without you finishing off whatever that thing is. So they try to get as much money from you, and that's why you'll be charged a higher interest rate and your repayments would be higher as opposed to someone who has a good credit score, because they know that we don't have to worry and stress. Borrowing this person means we'll get our money back, and that's that. So what comes into play when they're calculating your credit score, right? It's made up of your payment history. Payment history makes up 35% of the whole score. What is payment history? They look at your previous payment activities. If you have a clothing account with Mr. Price and the agreement is that by the first of the month you need to pay 250 towards that clothing account, you need to pay by the first of the month. That's basically it. If you skip a day, a week, or a month, it indicates that you are not able to actually make these payments. You're struggling. It looks bad. It affects your credit score badly when you're not able to meet the repayment terms and pay it on the due date. It's actually very good for you to pay before the due date. Like if your due date is on the 1st, pay by the 20th if you can. That actually makes them think like, oh, this person actually has money, they have cash flow, they're not living a month to month where they actually have to wait for money. But if you're not able to pay when you said you would, it gives them like a bit of an idea that you don't have money, which is scary. That's the first thing. So they look at your payment history and it's 35% of your score. Secondly, is amount owed. They look at how much credit is at your disposal, and of that credit at your disposal, how much of it have you used, right? Let's say you go to Mr. Price again. I don't know why, but you go to Mr. Price. Guys, I don't know if you guys can hear there's someone sweeping outside, so that's like the sound that's coming from them. But let's say now you go to Mr. Price, you get a clothing account, they tell you have a limit of 10,000 rand. That's what you can spend. It based on your credit profile, we can give you 10,000. Not everyone gets the same, because me and you both can go to Mr. Price and they can give me 5,000 and give you 20,000, and then vice versa. We can go to Mr. Price, I can get more, you can get less. It's always dependent on your credit score and your repayment, like how much you can repay, affordability, and all those things. So you go to Mr. Price, they give you 10,000 rands, and then how they determine amount owed is, of the 10,000 rand, do you use all of it? Using all of it indicates you don't have money. You need credit. You live off credit. You finance your lifestyle based on credit. They look at, is your house under finance, your car under finance, your phone under finance, clothes, and you use the whole credit. So when you use the whole credit, it means that you actually need credit. You are not able to sustain yourself, which is a bad look. The best thing to do is always try use only 30% of the credit available to you. So let's go back to the example of Mr. Price. If you get Mr. Price clothing account and they give you a limit of 10,000 rand, just use 3,000. Don't use the whole thing. It makes them see that, oh, okay, this person can actually control themselves and they don't need us, because they don't know how you're financing other things, but as long as you're not financing them through credit, you understand? And then the next thing that that they look at, and that amount owed, it comprises of 30%, right? So we went through payment history, it's 35%, amount owed is 30%. Then there's a length of credit history. They look at how long have you had a credit profile. That gives them a better understanding of how your patterns are, and the statistics are more accurate than someone who's had it for a shorter period of time. So if you've just had a credit profile for 3 months, you'll get a higher interest rate, or you are more of a risk than someone who's had a profile for 5 years. Someone who's had a profile for 5 years, they've actually been able to see their patterns and be able to work with them and everything. But you, on the other hand, it's only been 3 months. So 3 months is not like really, like they don't feel comfortable to just draw a conclusion based on 3 months. So my suggestion would be, if you want to build your credit score because you want to buy something specific, say a car, a house, or something like that, make sure you work on your profile for at least a year. Build your credit for at least a year, because even though you build your credit, you pay things on time, even beforehand, you don't use all of your credits and everything, but just the mere fact that it's only been for like 3 months, you will still be a risk than someone who has had a profile for 12 months. I don't know if you get me, but like, yeah, the length is very important. That comprises of 15% of your whole score. And then we have new credit. They look at how much new credit are you taking out, like in the recent activities. They look at that. Have you been going knocking on doors looking for loans? That's also a factor. That counts 10%. And then lastly, it's credit mix. So credit mix basically means don't put all your eggs in one basket. If you are you want to build your credit score, don't just get a clothing account. Mix it up. Get a credit card, get a clothing account, and get a phone contract, right? Because they different things, and they can draw different conclusions about you from these different credit facilities. Let's look at a phone contract. A phone contract, you've gotten the phone, you're paying it monthly. That's just a contract. It's just measuring the fact that do you pay your repayments monthly, you're using the phone and everything. But a credit card, on the other hand, they can give you a limit of 25,000, and then you don't have to use the whole thing. That's where they study you, that can you look at money and not use it? Can you have a facility that has funds there but you're not using it? If you see, they draw a different conclusion about the type of person that you are when they put something in front of you and then like tempt you, and then you don't use it. And then also this other part where you've used it and how your relationship is with repaying it. So that's why there's you need to mix it up when you're building your credit score. They can draw different conclusions about you when you mix up the credit facilities that you take out. And that's basically it. Credit score, what it's made up of. And to build your credit score is very simple. You just need to go out, open a clothing account, open a credit card, and all those things. And yeah, that's basically a credit score in a nutshell. If you guys want another video on this, please let me know in the comment down below. We can go through actually how to use credit but not use credit. I just didn't want to make this video too long. But that's it for today's video, you guys. Thank you so much. See you next time. Bye.